first guest tonight has directed numerous films, including Misery, When Harry Met Sally, and This is Spinal Tap. He also, of course, was Meathead on the classic TV sitcom All in the Family. You can't forget that. His latest film, The Story of Us, opens October 15th. Please welcome Rob Reiner.
I've never been on this show before.
Never been on this show.
This is the first time I'm on this show. I like to know whether or not the host, in this case you, is a real person. You accused Geraldo of being a phoney.
Yes.
On the opening. And I just
that was reciting what was said in Time magazine.
Right.
I love Geraldo myself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So you're not claiming that he's a phony?
Not at all, just reporting the news.
But we just want to find out who's a real person and who's not a real person. Now, a real person, everybody in the audience, you're all real people, right? And I'm guessing that if you looked into your pockets right now, you'd find something, right? Anything, whether it's keys or money or something. You all have something in your pocket, right? Right? Okay. Now, I can tell you, I mean, I have... Look, there's credit cards, here's some money, you know, you can see. I've got, you know, a couple of, you know, hotel keys on this thing, and I got hotel. Now, let me see, what do you have in your pocket? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got everything in his pocket. Let's just see. No. Let me see what's in your pocket.
I got nothing.
Nothing. And you, let me see what's in your pocket.
Yeah, but this is like our clown.
No. This is the point I'm making. The people who run these shows, these hosts, they're not real. They're pretend people. I'm a real person, and all of you are real people, but they are fake people.
Wait a minute.
Fake people.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Maybe Andy and I are fake people. Maybe we're phonies. But don't we, too, deserve a little love?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. You do deserve.
Okay, why don't you sit now, and I'll ask you the fake questions.
Yeah. I just wanted to do that.
You know,
I don't know what hit me.
You know what's true, though, is that Andy and I are nude for most of the day.
Really? Yeah.
And then they come up to us 5 minutes before the show. We don't own clothes like this. I don't have clothes like this. And they literally, like,
you put them on. And when you're nude, you don't have anything in your pockets either, so there's never a chance to get anything in your pockets.
No, it's very, this is nothing.
Yeah, but you look very nice.
Oh, it's Sears, thank you.
Very.
Now, I mentioned in the intro, I mean, you've done all this great work, you've directed a lot of great movies, but you're still meathead to a lot of people.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
To say you're still, like, after all this time, no matter...
I mean, I've always... I've often said, regardless of what I do in my life, I could win the Nobel Prize. It'll say, Meathead wins Nobel. It's always going to be part of my life. It's fine, though. I'm very...
You're okay with that?
I'm okay with it. I've made my peace with it.
All right.
Yes.
When Harry Met Sally,
yes,
great movie.
I remember that movie.
The orgasm scene is
famous scene.
People's favorite scene.
Yeah. That scene was actually one of the most embarrassing days of my life. The reason being is, if many people know or may not know, but the last line in that scene, you know, where Meg Ryan fakes the orgasm, the last line, the woman who says, "I'll have what she's having," that's my mother who actually says that line. Yes.
You cast your mother.
I cast my mother, and not thinking that I would have to direct a scene, you know, and Meg, the day that we shot that, Meg came out, and she was very nervous, obviously, for obvious reasons. I mean, she's going to have to pretend to have an orgasm in front of a crew and all these extras. And we did the first take, and she was very timid. And I thought, Meg, you know, when you do this, you have to really do it full out, because otherwise it's not going to work. You have to really go after it. And so we did a second take again, you know, very timid, not good. And I said, look, Meg, let me show you what I mean. And I sat down opposite Billy Crystal. And he then, you know, basically he said, you know, it was like having a date with Sebastian Cabot. But I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there with him, and then I'm going through, yes, yes, I'm pounding the table, yes, yes. And he says, I look like, you know, Victor Buono eating Thai food. I'm sweating, I'm doing, yes, please, yes, yes. And I realized I'm having an orgasm in front of my mother. And I was like, it was horrible, just very embarrassing. But
well, it all worked out. That's the important
thing. It did work out, and she got to spend the day with me, which is really all she wants.
I got paid for it.
And she got paid, yes. Yeah. And that place where we shot that scene, which is down here in New York, Katz's Deli, you know, downtown. Yeah, and then if you go there and you look at the table, they have a little sign on the table that we actually did the scene. This is the scene where Meg Ryan faked an orgasm, so you can have a very exciting pastrami sandwich there if you go.
There's a sandwich named for it. We were looking today. Of course, you've done a lot of work and you've been in the business quite a while. We found one of your first appearances on television, which was on Gomer Pyle.
Uh-oh.
Gomer Pyle, which one of my favorite shows when I was growing up.
Yes.
Where you play a.
Yeah. I was a hippie. I was a resident hippie in the '60s because I had the long hair and and we basically were hippies who found Gomer. He was with a mobile command post, and it was camouflaged. And we sat around, and he's in the Marines, and of course hippies were trying to promote peace and love.
Right.
And we sat down and sang
A tender scene with Gomer.
A tender scene with Gomer. You want to show?
I want to see this so badly. Can we show this, please?
How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must a wise dove sail?
Man, you look depressed.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I would be. Oh, man. Well, we should talk about the story of us. This is your new movie.
New movie coming out a week from tonight. It's Friday. Are you on the same night that we're saying this is Friday night,
yes,
right?
And I will make the whole show a promotion.
Thank you for the story of us. October 15th. It's with Bruce Willis and Michelle Pfeiffer. And it is basically ask the question, can a marriage survive 15 years of marriage? Mm-hmm. And what it does is it examines all the ins and outs and wear and tear of what it is, what it really is to be married with children and all the stresses and strains. You know, when we started working on the movie, Alan Zweibel and I and Jesse Nelson, we said there were a lot of movies about people meeting and falling in love, and there's been a lot of movies about the pain and suffering of divorce, but very few movies that I know of that really just says what really goes on between lived happily ever after and ultimately if you ever broke up. What is all that stuff in between? So this movie examines that, and it's very funny. And I think Bruce and Michelle do the best performances of anything they've ever done, and most complex. And I'm very proud of the work, and I hope everybody goes to see it.
Well, we have a clip here from the story of us. Anything we need to know for this clip?
This is a scene, I think it's with Rita Wilson, who plays my wife in the movie, and we are best friends with Bruce and Michelle. And there are scenes where the men are talking by themselves and the women are talking, and this is the woman's point of view of what happens in a marriage, and that the women are having lunch. And so she's telling Michelle Pfeiffer and Julie Haggerty her views on marriage.
Let's take a look at this clip from the story of us.
How many roads must a man walk down?
No. That was in the movie, but we decided to cut it out.
Very sorry about that.
We were going to leave it in, but...
That'll be one of our apologies for next time.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the real clip from the story of us.
A kiss means I like you. It's so right. I haven't made out, really made out with Larry for years. Doesn't that make you sad? Not really. Why? I don't know.
Because it's inevitable. It's the wear and tear of the job. The diapers, the tantrums, the homework, the state capitals, the kingdom, phylum, genus, species, your mother, his mother, and suddenly all you're aware of is that there are too many wet towels on the floor, he's hogging the remote, and he's scratching his back with a fork. And finally you come face to face with the immutable truth that it's virtually impossible to French kiss a person who takes the new roll of toilet paper and leaves it resting on top of the empty cardboard roll. God forbid he takes the 2 seconds to actually replace it. Does he not see it? Does he not see it?
lot of anger there.
Yes, yes.
I have never scratched my butt with a fork.
No.
I use a butter knife.
No. You've never been married, have you?
No, never been married.
No. Well, that's good advice to not scratch your back with a fork.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your marriage surviving.
That was on my to-do list. All right. The Story of Us opens next Friday, so go and see The Story of Us. And Rob Reiner, it was really nice to meet you. I never met you before.
Very nice to meet you, Conan.
Yeah, good to have you here.
You're much more of a real person than I would think.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner, everybody. Amy Brenneman coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.